Hi guys, I'm back. So I got Tino behind me. So I am expecting noise. I haven't had a chance to check my comments this morning, so I just want to thank all the new members. My name's Louis. I'm from Southwest UK, near Bristol, and I'm a lifelong Elvis fan. And me with all our subscribers are on a mission to defend Elvis, to stand up for his name, his reputation, his image, his legacy. And we together are searching for the truth so we can defend Elvis to the max. And we will keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And we will defend Elvis from anyone that badmouths him if there's no truth to it. Morning, Deborah. Morning, Coley. It's not even morning now, is it? It's 1:40 in the UK. So, hi, Coley. Hi, Deborah. So, I've got a little while to do a live. I've got Tino behind me. I've just had some steak. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm on a carnivore diet, which means I mainly eat meat, eggs, fish, cheese, yogurts, Greek yogurt, salt, water. I don't eat sugar or bread or pasta or rice or potato. I'm on very low carbs. And because of it, I have got my health very stable. I used to have ulcerative colitis, and the meat diet that I'm on, the carnivore diet, some of you call it keto, restored my health, got rid of my high blood sugar, reversed my pre-diabetes, made me lose a load of weight. And so I feel that this diet I'm on I am thriving on it, thriving. So I highly recommend it, guys. If you want to ask me anything about it, go ahead. So today we had a fantastic live stream. Even got some new members, got some more subscribers. And I just want to give a big shout out to the members. Let's just see if I can find it here. Now, just so you know, guys, the membership, I think, is $1 a month. I don't do it for the money. I do it because it makes me feel like you like what I'm doing and it gives me a pat on the back. It's got nothing to do with money, but I do have a long-term interest. I would like to do live streams that are members only as well as subscribers. So we can get up close and personal with members live streams as well as the main live streams that we do for all the subscribers who I'm so grateful that you are on. So a quick shout out to the members. It's quite a new thing I'm doing when it comes to membership. And the newest member is Colleen. Thanks, Colleen. We also have All Stars. I need to find out their name. It says All Stars 1964. Thank you for joining. We've got Tonna, Tonna, Logan, Tonna Logan. And we also have Rosalind Finney and Blue Bunny, which is Jill. Patricia Wingard, Susan Bloor, Kathy Smith, Robin Gavid, Wicked Felina, who has her own channel, by the way, Judith Schoner, James McCarthy, good friend of mine, James, Stacey Haster, Shirley Jory, Eileen Hellaby, and Tracy Webb, and even my twin brother is a member, Andreas. So, right, no, you can't shout. So obviously Tino is not a member yet. Yeah, tell me, I've made you something now. Right, you're gonna have to wait till I do my live. What? I can put you some toast in. Toast. Do you want any toast? 1 second, guys. Do you want any toast? Right. Remember, I'm only gonna let you stay on that phone if you're quiet. If you're not really quiet, then you're coming off that phone. Everyone's watching you in America. Say hello to the Americans. We have America. We have get some water. We have America. We have Canada. We have Australia. We've got people all over the world. In the UK as well. We have Italy, Switzerland, Netherlands. I think we've covered almost every country. It's literally amazing. Even I'm fascinated by all the different countries that we've had. So, you can do a sit with Rio if you want. Rio's upstairs. He's awake now. Okay. No, I think he might. So we're juggling a bit, trying to keep Tino quiet just while we do this live. It's there. I put it on this corner for you. Is it moved? All right, hang on. Yeah, here we are. I put it over here by mistake. Right. So.
Why do you put it
There you are, mate. Right, remember, you promised me you're going to be quiet, yeah? So we're not going to be too long, Tino, and then we can go out and play. Right, then. Back again. So I thought the live we had... Oh, just finishing off on the members. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you being members. I'm serious now. It means everything to me. And any new subscribers, thank you so much. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, because it keeps the channel thriving. It's good for the channel, but also when we go live, if you've hit the notification bell, we all come together live. And I think we had 40 people on the last live, all come together. And that's pretty good, I think, 40 people. And it makes the discussion even more interesting because you guys are commenting. And I just think it's great. So at the moment, we've got Deborah and Colleen on. And usually as the lives go on, people start joining. And it just makes the live streams more interesting. That's the truth of it. So I really like the live stream we did today because we were talking about Mike Stone and Priscilla mainly. I just want to also say we are not a Priscilla hate channel. We're not trying to create hate. We are just trying to defend Elvis. And unfortunately, to defend Elvis, we do have to talk about people like Mike Stone, Priscilla, and the Memphis Mafia. Unfortunately, I would say almost all of the negative stuff that is portrayed around the world, these people are involved, in my opinion. Yeah. Now, obviously, there's millions or hundreds of thousands of people that say bad things about Elvis, but that's because they have been fed a false narrative. They have been told a story about Elvis that isn't true, and they've bought into it. And that includes the media, the press, the tabloids, the magazines, the biographies, the documentaries, Netflix, Prime, all of it. They've all bought in to a false story that isn't true. They've bought into a fairy tale story that isn't realistic. So when these interviewers are talking to anyone that knows Elvis, they've always got it in mind, all the negative stuff about Elvis, whether it be that he was a druggie, whether he was fat, how he died on the toilet, or if he was very unfaithful, or if he had a bad temper. And they all bring up very twisted versions of the truth. And us as Elvis fans, who are just trying to get to the truth so we can defend Elvis, are bit by bit breaking down all these terrible lies about Elvis, and we're sticking up for him, we're standing up for him, and we're proving, or we're trying our best to prove, that a lot of the things that are said about Elvis are not true. He doesn't deserve it, and he can't defend himself. So he can't defend himself, so we can do it. And if you really think about it, guys, except for the fans, there isn't many people defending Elvis. You'll get loads of positive things about Elvis. There's loads of positive documentaries and books that will praise Elvis all day long, talking about how he started in Mississippi Tupelo and then his rise to fame. And how amazing that was, the rags to rich story that the movie, Elvis, the Baz Luhrmann movie clearly showed, and the Kurt Russell movie as well. There's plenty of things that show Elvis how he started with nothing, and then just with talent and looks, he became a world success and changed the world. You'll get that all day long. If you want to go out and buy a book, you will buy hundreds of books that praise the story of Elvis. But then this is the dark side. Then you get the negative books, like the tell-all stories from many different people, including Priscilla, including Memphis Mafia, and unfortunately the odd ex-girlfriend sometimes. But generally his girlfriends are very good. And you get the nasty books that just come out of stuff that is complete rubbish and a complete fabrication. And it's all about making money and making a profit, telling lies to make money. You can only sit on my lap if you're quiet. Yeah, remember that. Here he comes. But I love it when he sits on my lap. Love it. But only if he's quiet. If you're not quiet, you ain't sitting on my lap. Do you promise to be quiet? Yeah. Good boy. Now, Tino said to me just now, Dad, what does quiet mean? So I've been telling Tino, no, don't you start doing naughty things. I've been telling Tino be quiet for about a month now. And then today he decides to say to me, what does quiet mean? I goes, quiet means no talking. Right, we've got to turn this down. Remember, I said you can only sit on my lap if you're... Okay. Right. Cup of tea. So the Mike Stone live stream we did today. Brilliant. I loved it. And I think was it Colleen that sent me the link? Colleen, did you send me the link for Mike Stone? I've had a couple of people send me Mike Stone links, but this one might have been from Colleen. Nadia just had a meaty lunch, some cucumber salad, listening in with coffee. That is perfect. That is perfect. I had steak and bacon. Steak and bacon. But a bit of cucumber, a bit less. It's fine. It's better than a croissant, yeah, Nadia? Better than a croissant? Me and Nadia have been doing this diet together. We're coming off sugar, bread, pasta, rice, chocolates, donuts, fizzy drinks. We're coming off all that, and we're going meat, eggs with a small bit of low carbs. Yes, Nadia. We got it sus, mate. We got it sus. Right. So because I thought this morning's live stream was so good, I am going to probably play some of those clips again with Mike Stone, because I think we sort of need to, because this is a part 2 of the live stream. But what I thought I would do is just read some of the comments on that live stream about Mike Stone. And that live stream basically was Mike Stone talking about how he met Priscilla, how Priscilla pursued him, the fact that Priscilla was very unhappy in Graceland and was looking for a way out. And Mike Stone, in his own words, said, Mike Stone, in his own words, said that he feels that Priscilla pursued him because he was part of a plan. She needed a powerful man that could stand up to Elvis to get away from Elvis, and that he feels that he was used. He doesn't say it in those exact words, but this is generally what he was saying, in my opinion. And then he goes on to say that they actually were quite happy together. And he also says that once she made up her mind to leave Elvis, which I think was around 72, that she was going to leave. Yeah. He also says that they secretly were seeing each other for a full year before Elvis found out. And this is probably the most shocking thing for me. I know that this happened because I've been saying it for a few weeks now. But to hear it from his own mouth that they had been seeing each other for a year, that was quite a good moment for me, because I wanted some proof. And the other thing, yeah, Jane. Hi, Jane. Welcome aboard. To me, it's clear that she used him. But, we're not allowed to say things as facts because we get told off by YouTube. So we can only say it's very likely. Can't prove it. As close as we're going to get to proof, really, is if it comes from the horse's mouth. So because a lot of these things are said by Mike Stone, I think we'll get in there with the proof, aren't we? So, and what I have been saying on this channel is, as Nadia knows and Colleen knows, and hi, Deborah, we have to get as close to the proof as we can. We have to prove in some way what we're saying. Otherwise, it's just Louis bad-mouthing Priscilla, Louis bad-mouthing Mike Stone. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person that is just bad-mouthing people, like Louis bad-mouthing Jerry Schilling, for example. Now, I get a lot of people sticking up for Jerry Schilling. He's very popular. And I understand why they stick up for Jerry Schilling. He's so likable. He's so likable. But the truth is, I'm a bit worried about the friendship with Jerry Schilling and Priscilla. I think that they're a bit in bed together, and they have been for over 40 years. And I mean that in many ways. So some people get quite offended that how dare I say a negative word about Jerry Schilling. And I know that his book he wrote was really good, was lovely to Elvis, did not badmouth Elvis. But I worry that from the early 80s, no, even the 70s, that his friendship with Priscilla,
I got tell one.
well done, even till today, needs analysing. It needs analysing. Because it's very hard to be loyal to both. It's very hard to be loyal to Elvis, because I know Jerry loves Elvis. He did so much. Elvis did so much for Jerry. And he bought him a house, etc. But I also know that Jerry loves Priscilla. So it's very hard to be loyal to a dead person when the living person was putting money in your pocket. And the truth is, they did do business together. They did. They made documentaries and did books together, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion. So anyone that gets offended when I mention Jerry Schilling, I'm sorry, guys, but we need to break into all the facts and get to the truth that defends Elvis. And we're going to upset a few people defending Elvis. Not everyone's going to like what we say. Yeah. So, but we are trying to find some more proof. So when we are saying things, there's some backbone to it. Right. Just don't do that noise. Don't. Right. Okay. Right. Let me show you that. I think the very important videos were at the end. So I'm going to do the videos backwards. I will just quickly mention the guy's YouTube channel. To be fair to him, it's called Sidekicks Podcast, hosted by Keith Vitale. Sidekick Podcast, hosted by Keith Vitale. Sidekicks Podcast, hosted by Keith Vitale. Thank you to his brilliant YouTube channel that has done an exceptional interview. And this interview, I wonder if it's got a date on it. I can't see a date, but I don't think it was that long ago. I think it was a few months ago. So let's just go to the. She felt. I'm gonna go do this time. We're gonna go through the same videos, but we're gonna go backwards. And then if we've got enough time, we're gonna start going through some comments that were written on that YouTube channel, what the fans are saying. So are we ready, guys? Nadia, when she asked for divorce, Elvis tried to give the marriage another chance, but she didn't want to. He writes it in the divorce deposition. Nadia, I'd like to see that. I know that in the divorce deposition, I know that it is said that if they get back together, she gets to keep anything that he gave her on the first divorce settlement. Are you referring to that, Nadia? I'll repeat that. After the first divorce settlement, one of the conditions was that if they get back together, Priscilla gets to keep everything that Elvis gave her. And he gave her quite a lot. He gave her cars, a motorbike. She had 50% share of the profit when 3 homes were sold, and there was lump sums of money. I think it was 100,000. And there was spousal payments, either 4,000 a month or 6,000 a month. It was Nadia. So Nadia, you know I respect you and I like you giving me your comment. But if you read your comment, you do say that Elvis asked for divorce. Elvis tried to give the marriage another chance, but she didn't want to. He writes it in the divorce settlement. Now, I don't think Elvis has written the actual words, I'm going to give you another chance. But I think what you mean is he put an option in there that gave her another chance. Is that what you mean? I think that's what you mean. So there was an opening for her to go, we're back together. Yeah, I get that. So he offered the house and she didn't want it. I don't know about that. I know that 3 of the houses were put up for sale and that she was given 50% of the sale price. I think I know that. Yeah. Does that sound right to you, Nadia? Right. No. You are going to be still and quiet. Right. Come on. Right. Let's start playing these videos before Tino drives me potty. Ha ha ha. So I did that video we did this morning. If anyone's just joining, I called it Elvis and Priscilla, Mike Stone, The Truth. It was 2 hours long, guys. Let's have a look. No, don't be silly. Right, come on, let's have a look. So we've got Elvis's words. I sent you the link. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Nadia. We do need help with the research. I'm definitely going to read that later. I've got 3 o'clock. I've got to go somewhere with my wife. And hopefully I'll come back later and do something. Well, let's just play this video because I'm talking too much. Okay. Not the best looking man, I would say. He is much older now, though. I'm just being mean now, aren't I? Right.
Is the word guilty and ashamed for what she felt like she was cheating and going behind Elvis's back. But her intention already, when she first saw me, she admitted years later, when she first saw me fight in Hawaii, at that moment she looked and she said, that's the guy I want. She admitted this years later. Right? So it was an intention. And
So,
if you listen to her.
So you hear that? She felt guilty and ashamed. And she even admitted to him that the first time she saw him, she said, that's my man. That's my man. Should we just say that a little bit again? Because it's so important.
That she felt, here's the word, guilty and ashamed for what she felt like she was cheating and going behind Elvis's back. But her intention already, when she first saw me, she admitted years later, when she first saw me fight in Hawaii, at that moment she looked and she said, that's the guy I want. She admitted this years later. Right? So it was an intention. And again, if you listen to her story that she just made the movie, and you read all of the things. Listen, I'm not saying anything that isn't out there for someone that is honestly curious, that they can research and find out.
Fair comment. He's saying anything that needs to be known is out there for us to find out. And she should feel guilty and ashamed. The heartache and embarrassment that she caused for herself and for Lisa Marie and for Mike Stone's wife and Mike Stone's 6-year-old daughter. Because, guys, did you know Mike Stone had a 6-year-old daughter who coincidentally was the same age? Well, he said in this, they were the same age as Priscilla. Is that right? And maybe after a few years of them being together. Yeah. So let's have a look. So with the divorce settlement, you said, Nadia, you say about the flat. I know about the flat. They were and part of the deal was he was going to have it refurbished. But I just want to see if I can get it up. Let's have a look. I think I clicked on this the other day. Let's see if I can find it. Right, Elvis and Priscilla's. Let me just see if it comes up. So we've got, at some point, we've got the divorce settlement. Right, so here we go. Right, come over here, don't worry. I did sort of quickly see if it's going to cut. The documents, right, here we are, Nadia. So it says $100,000 lump sum to be paid to Priscilla in 2 installments of 50 grand. This, and then on the 20th of August, 1973, in addition to this, Priscilla was to receive a Mercedes-Benz, a Cadillac, a Harley-Davidson, half of the income of their luxurious residence in the Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, Palm Springs. Does that sound right to you, Nadia? I wonder if it says... I'm just trying to see if it says anything about the second. It doesn't. No, it doesn't say anything about the second divorce. So, okay, I'm just letting you know that because I only read that the other day. Anyway, let's go to the next video. Okay. Let's get the volume up.
That direction. That's what I was exposed.
Right.
When she was going off in that direction, that's what I was exposed to, and I didn't like it at all. I was happy to leave. So we parted ways, and it was not, even after we left, we would still call and talk to each other. Sometimes 5 and 6 months after We had separated. So how bad could it have been?
So, because we're going backwards, guys, what he's saying is that they basically parted on good terms, and he's saying that a big part of the reason that they parted is because she was very ambitious and she had plans for the future, whether it be to open a shop or her movie career or acting or modeling or promoting products like Hella shampoo, fragrances, etc. So she outgrew Mike Stone. That's what I see. And Priscilla wanted the LA sort of California Hollywood lifestyle, and he didn't. He felt that the Hollywood star people were very fake. He didn't want nothing to do with them. So she was pushing in a different direction. But he also says that they split up amicably. They stayed friends and they stayed in touch, and that she would phone him regularly for 6 months after they split up.
We just got to a point when whatever her reason and agenda was, she now started to move off in that direction. When she started to feel comfortable about herself, she was now divorced. She was now free. People in Hollywood knew she was free. She was available. She opened up Biz and Bo, the clothing store, so she had more contact with people. Listen to this. Priscilla never introduced me to a friend of hers other than Joanne.
Okay. So he uses the word agenda. She had her own agenda, and he mentions the fact that she had finally got the divorce, so she was free. And I just see that she wanted to fly her wings, didn't she? She wanted to go off and see, oh, where can this go? I've got my freedom. I've got money. I'm away from Elvis. Here comes the sun, isn't it? Here comes the sun. What I'm trying to say is that suddenly the gates were open. The gates were open so she could get on with her life. So that meant she didn't need Mike Stone. That's how I read that. In a small way, I pity him. I pity him because he lost his wife, his 6-year-old daughter. He broke up his family. He was involved, and so was Priscilla, in the breaking up of Elvis's family, because obviously suddenly Priscilla loses her dad. So that family unit is broke. So the damage that they've both done is forever with both families. And in the end, what did he get out of it? He didn't get anything out of it, did he? Because he'd lost his family and he'd lost Priscilla. So karma really got him, Right. She used the first 50,000 of Elvis for the business that messed up and called Elvis up for more money. Yes. And I've read about this, that Bis and Bo was a friend of hers, a partner, and they did this clothing boutique. Completely flopped. I even read a story that Elvis would send a lot of his staff there and girls that he knew to shop there because he wanted to help her. Actually, that's how nice Elvis is. So from the point of view of Mike Stone, it wasn't worth it, guys. It wasn't worth it. And he's had a certain level of hate for the last 40 odd years. 40 odd years. And he comes up with this excuse that no human owns another human. And that's why it was okay what he did. Because people accuse him of taking Priscilla from Elvis. And his answer to that is, from his own words, you can't take another human being. Now, I understand his point, but the truth is, when two adults commit in a marriage, you do have rules on each other. You do. It's just, I don't mean that you own each other. I just think certain things are expected of each other within that relationship, within the marriage. And being faithful is one of them. So when he says that, I just think it sounds silly. He tries to use the law of attraction, and energy, vibrating energy as his excuse that what he did was right and that it's the universe's plan that mattered. This is what the universe wanted. Now, I'm not against spiritualism. I'm not against law of attraction, but I'm against using it as an excuse why he wanted sex with Priscilla. That's just ridiculous. Yeah. Come on. Mike Stone fancied the pants off her and wanted to bonk her. She fancied the pants off Mike Stone, wanted to bonk him. They wanted to get naked in bed together. So don't come out with the crap about energy and vibration and law of attraction and that one human doesn't own another human. We're not going to fall for it, Mike Stone. We're not going to fall for that crap. Give us some kind of respect as people with a normal, intelligent brain. You wanted to bonk her, mate. She wanted to bonk you. Right. And in the end, she dumped on you like you were nothing. That's the truth. Priscilla dumped on Mike Stone like he was nothing. Elvis did say that in the deposition that he had hope for reconciliation. All right, he actually says it. I know about the clause where if they got back together, Priscilla gets to keep everything. I just need to read that sentence, and I think Nadia has sent it to me. And welcome, Annie. Welcome. Thanks for joining. I want to read that sentence so I can use it on a live stream because I want to show it to our subscribers so we can go, look, proof. We love the proof.
Are you reading that book?
Not yet. Right. Let's listen to this one as well. Right.
They're not going to have a trial period apart. That she wanted a complete severance of the relationship completely to a divorce. He was furious. So, and I can understand that. When you're the wealthiest, the handsomest, the most famous guy in the world, I can understand. Your ego is totally crushed. When your wife tells you she's going to leave you for a nobody that is ugly and has no money.
Well, I'm not going to comment on the ugly bit because it's cruel. So he's clearly just saying there that she wanted out. She had made up her mind. It could have been a different man. She was looking for the strong man that was going to stand up to Elvis before she left. He was the chosen one. He was the chosen one. He was used. He was used. That's all I can say, in my opinion. What do you think, guys? Yeah, Nadia, I am going to go through it. Nadia, I have watched Presley Mania's video on this, but it was like 3 weeks ago, so I'm going to watch it again. I also have got some of the documents, some of the divorce settlement documents as well. So I need to go through them again. I think I'm going to redo another video about the divorce documents and we can go through that together. I'll probably do it quite soon as well. Right.
A lot of praise about, she felt trapped in that relationship with Elvis, and then you opened up her eyes, and showed her a whole different world that she wasn't exposed to before. So, she had nice things to say that way. But during your relationship, how did you get along with her? Was it a happy relationship?
Yes, fantastic.
Okay, mate.
Book I'm writing right now.
So he sorry about that, guys. He says they got on very well. I think whilst she wanted him, whilst he was important to Priscilla, they got on very well. So
like a grain of sand. That is the truth. Was she was very unhappy. She was desperate to get out of that situation. Just look at the movie she made about her life. You talk about, and that's what she puts on the screen. So can you imagine how desperate she really must have been? Can you imagine you're 14, 15, 16, you're living at the king's mansion, and these other beautiful women that he's entertaining, having sex with, having affairs with? What does that do for her ego? You talk about crush. She doesn't feel she even exists. You talk about beauty. She's definitely one of the prettiest women in the world at that time. But she didn't feel beautiful at all. She felt ugly. She felt like he didn't want to touch her. I mean, what can that do for a young woman? So we have to put everything in order. We cannot just get stuff. And I understand.
right, I didn't play that on the last one, on this morning. Now, I have to be fair to him. He's there trying to describe how Priscilla felt. And he makes some good points. So we have to do this. We have to put ourselves in her shoes and see how she saw her life. I don't think we can always just be completely one-sided on Elvis's side. Just go, yes, Elvis was completely in the right and Priscilla was completely in the wrong. So I get his point. But I have to also say this. She was married with a very young daughter. So at this point, I'm guessing that Lisa Marie was 3 or 4. Yeah. He was married with a 6-year-old daughter. So you can't ignore that. You can't go because Priscilla had problems in the relationship with Elvis, which of course she did, because Elvis was no angel. You can't then go, well, okay, then let's go and break up 2 families because I fancy someone, and then we'll just see where the pieces fall. You can't do that. If a relationship, to me, if a relationship is having difficulties and there's children involved, you've got to make it work. You've got to do your best. You've got to give it a go. I know that if things are very extreme, sometimes, if it's very violent or if there's abuse, serious abuse, then people don't have a choice, do they? But if it's arguing or maybe a lack of sex or just a bad patch, you've got to try and work it out. You've got to try. I think all relationships go through bad patches. So, I'm going to play that again because I want to be fair to Priscilla. And let's together, guys, let's listen to how he feels Priscilla felt and why she left Elvis. Yeah?
Was she was very unhappy. She was desperate to get out of that situation. Just look at the movie she made about her life. You talk about, and that's what she puts on the screen. So can you imagine how desperate she really must have been? Can you imagine you're 14, 15, 16, you're living at the King's Mansion, and these other beautiful women that he's entertaining, having sex with, having affairs with. What does that do for her ego? You talk about crime.
So, I'm not going to ignore that comment. I don't think it's fair for us to talk about Elvis and Priscilla without trying to put her point of view on there. I mean, obviously, there's many, many, many more circumstances. Here we go, that are at play here. Many more, because you've got the history with her being unfaithful with Steve Peck in '68 and what led to that. She would have had many reasons for that. Obviously, because the baby was such a small child and just after the wedding. So I think you need the bigger picture. So you have got the time between 63 and 65. I think Elvis was definitely being unfaithful. There's a small chance Priscilla was, but we don't know it for definite. But Elvis more than likely was. But I still feel that when Priscilla first moved to America, I still feel that they were a proper couple. I think Elvis was too young to settle down in 62, 63, 64. So he saw himself as single. But then I do believe that in December of 66, that Elvis had decided he was going to give it a go. And that's why he committed to this marriage, to this engagement. And that's why he got her pregnant as promised. Elvis kept all his promises. And then the baby's born. And then he's optimistic for a new future with a small family and beautiful Lisa Marie. And I think at this point, Elvis was faithful. And if you listen to the Memphis Mafia interviews, they do say that 66, 67, 68, he was faithful until this shock thing happened. Yeah. So obviously, by the time we do the filming of Love a Little, Live a Little, and we do the 68 comeback, he's unfaithful again. But that's because he's caught her being unfaithful just after the baby was born, and it traumatized him. So his way was to look forward, get on with his life. And this amazing opportunity came up that was originally suggested by Colonel Tom Parker to do this Christmas special, which then turned into a massive comeback that turned his whole life around and brought him back to the top again. And it stayed that way for many more years. So we are going to try and see a bigger picture and not just be completely one-sided for Elvis, because I don't think that's right. But the truth is, I personally think, in my opinion, that Priscilla was more wrong than Elvis. That's how I see it. I think that the extent and the depth of betrayal that happened with Priscilla, because she'd had sex with or had an affair with someone just after the baby was born, just after the wedding, I think that the depth of that was much worse. I also think they'd gone through a couple of years. Elvis was just trying to iron things over, but it's obvious Elvis had no intention of being faithful after that 68 unfaithfulness with Steve Peck. And I do think Elvis was just getting on with his life and seeing different people. So this must have been very difficult for Priscilla, let's be fair. Must have been, if he's carrying on with affairs, because he classes himself like he's not her partner anymore because of her betrayal. So then she's putting up with the fact that she's hearing rumors that he's being unfaithful as well. And then this is part of the thing that led to the decision where she's made up her mind that she wants out and she wants to pursue Mike Stone, and Mike Stone was the chosen one. So I hope that is fairer. I hope that is a fairer portrayal of what I'm trying to say. I still see Elvis as the victim, though. I still do. And I also think that the way that she was unfaithful, where she eventually had this secret affair with Mike Stone for a year, which is also in these video clips, he admits that Mike Stone and her were having an affair for a year before Elvis found out. I also think that the way she did it was so hurtful because it was so public. Because once she chose to leave Elvis and carry on with this affair with Mike Stone, she paraded herself in public with Lisa Marie, with Mike Stone for years. And I think that was very cruel on Elvis. I think it was extremely cruel. I think to have such a public humiliation that was all in all the tabloids and magazines and TV news clips, I just think, my God, it couldn't have been any more worse for Elvis, and such a powerful person, because Mike Stone was this really powerful karate guy, a champion, that Elvis knew that Elvis couldn't stand up to him. He was too powerful. And I think Priscilla knew that. And it was a public shaming of Elvis. But actually, the person that should have been ashamed, mostly, I think, was Priscilla and Mike. Because Priscilla and Mike broke up two families. So, but there is, Elvis is getting on with his life as well, and he's being unfaithful. So you've got a mixed bag here of people that are at fault. Yeah? So what is your take on that, guys? So Priscilla did feel as though there was no special in Elvis for her. There was no space in Elvis for her life. Annie, I do believe that after Elvis had caught her in '68, I completely agree that Elvis then decided to get on with his life. So the '68 comeback special, the filming of Love a Little, Live a Little. Then it was the Vegas comeback in '69. I agree. He probably had no space for Priscilla. But saying that, using your own evidence, I'm trying to be fair. Annie, using your evidence, this clearly lists that he did have space for Priscilla. Because this thing that you sent me, which I've written down about the holidays in Hawaii, there's 2 or 3. Colorado, the Tom Jones concerts, the Muhammad Ali boxing match they attended, the JC Awards. Right, no, you ain't shouting. The Vegas shows that she attended, and they were together at Easter. These are all things that you found, Annie. Oh, I'll make you a tea, don't worry. TV, okay, yeah, get the remote. Where is it? Help him find the remote, please. So what I'm trying to say is, Annie, just responding to your comment, you did find a lot of things they did together, didn't you, Annie? So to say that there was no space for her, if you go by your research, which was excellent, by the way, your research showed that they did a lot together in '68, '69, '70, and early '71. Maybe your comment doesn't ring completely correct. But I do think that because Elvis was carrying on with other affairs in '69, '70, I do think that also your comment carries some weight, because if she behind the scenes is thinking, oh, Elvis doesn't want to know me anymore because I was caught in '68 with Steve Peck. Right, turn it down. Right down, please. Right down. Right, Rio, right down, please. So what I'm trying to say is, Gino, come on, you know it's got to be down. So what I'm trying to say is, I get that. It must have been a bit suffocating for Priscilla that in 69 and 70, it was obvious Elvis was like, I'm doing whatever I want to do because you betrayed me so badly in 68. I don't class you as my wife anymore. I don't want to sleep with you anymore. It has nothing to do with the fact that she'd had a baby. I think he thought he had fallen out of love with her. He definitely did not see her as someone to have sex with. So he looked forward in his future for sex with other people. And Priscilla, really, the whole marriage was a charade, as Annie said. And all of these things they did together was a charade. And I can see from that why Priscilla wanted out. Because we do have to try and analyze, why did Priscilla want out? Why did she want out? Why did she feel that she had to pursue Mike Stone? Why did she think, I need a way out? I feel like a prisoner. I feel suffocated. I don't feel like I've got a life. And she was trying to plan a way out of her life. I think when she saw Mike Stone and she straight away had the hots for Mike Stone, she planned in her head how she was going to get him. And that was her way away from Elvis. I see that. She needed a very powerful man that Elvis would be scared of. And Elvis, with his own words, did say that Mike Stone is a badass. He actually said that himself. So maybe she felt that Mike Stone was the only way that she was going to be able to leave Elvis safely without a big, massive comeback from Elvis. I'm just sounding it out, guys. I'm sounding it out. Yeah. Trying to see the lady's point of view. So she should talk straight, admit that it wasn't meant to be, and that she was disappointed and became bitter, admitted to her affairs too, and her vengefulness about the money. Well, Nadia, you know how upset I am about the second divorce settlement. It was very, very, very greedy and cruel. It nearly brought him to bankruptcy. It made him sell off his music rights. So, and the whole deed of trust that was put on Graceland's, the lien on Graceland's, because of the divorce settlement was so high and Elvis couldn't afford to pay it. Come on. It was cruel. It was cruel. As stated in the divorce settlement, problems because of his lifestyle and his way away with a lot of women in his life, and she wanted a happy little family that had a Circle G ranch, but that was not good. And I get that point, Nadia, but after catching your partner having sex with someone 2 months after the baby's born, is there any going back? Can you forgive that? It's a big question, isn't it? She wanted his affection, and she said he wasn't attending to her womanly needs. And Annie, I believe that he wasn't. I believe that once he caught her being unfaithful, just after the baby was born, that he couldn't have sex with her. I believe that. But it had nothing to do with the fact that he won't sleep with a woman that's had a baby. No way. It had nothing to do with that. Right. I feel both they had to put on false image to continue to be seen actively. Yes, I agree with that, Annie. It was, like you say, your words, a charade. After the unfaithfulness, when Lisa Marie was born, there was no going back for them two. Maybe Priscilla hoped for a while that they could make amends, but the truth is Elvis had moved on. Really, from the moment Elvis caught her being unfaithful after the baby was born, after the marriage, it was, for him, it was unforgivable. And he was going to do whatever he wanted. Right. They both should have talked things over, and they obviously didn't. Neither wanted to save the marriage. I think they both got to that point, definitely. 100%. Now, do I think they kept changing their minds? Yeah, I think both of them did. I think Elvis did. I think Elvis had moments in the future where he regretted things. And I think Priscilla did as well. I think she fell in love with the image of Elvis to start with, then was disappointed with the man and not able to cope with his fans, etc. Thanks, Jane. It's so complex, isn't it? It's so complicated because so many things happened. His life never changed. So if you don't like the way things are going, why get married and have a baby? I agree with that. She was barking up the wrong tree, wasn't she? She was barking at the wrong tree. This dream that she had of moving to America and being in this perfect little family with Elvis. He was a superstar. He was the attention Elvis got, the adoration Elvis got, the way women loved Elvis, and also how career-minded and ambitious Elvis was. I think any woman would have struggled to make a decent relationship with Elvis last. Do I think Elvis in the long term could stay faithful for years and years? Not the famous Elvis. The non-famous Elvis, yes. Non-famous Elvis, I think he could have been a great dad, a great husband. The famous Elvis, almost impossible. Almost impossible. She never admits to any affairs or any of her interviews over the past 40 years, always pointed the finger. And this is why we're here. This is why we're here. Hi, Cheryl. We're here to say, why in all these interviews is it always that Elvis is the bad guy, that everything was Elvis's fault, that Priscilla was the victim? That is not fair. They were both doing things that were wrong for a marriage, both of them. So when she's having these interviews, she should be more honest and just be fair. There's no fairness. This is the bit that infuriates us. We want to defend Elvis because it's so one-sided. This book is so one-sided, and that isn't right. We need Priscilla to admit her wrongdoing. We know Elvis's wrongdoing. Elvis is no angel. We know his wrongdoing. If you really break it down, the things that Priscilla has admitted with her wrongdoing, there's only two things. Two things. She doesn't talk about the divorce settlement. She doesn't talk about any other faithfulness. She almost hardly mentions Steve Peck at all. She will talk about Mike Stone. I've seen her talk about Mike Stone before, but that's not fair. It needs to be more fair. Elvis said, Nadia, about Bruce Jenner, that he was a fine specimen of a man, and he thinks that even though he's not gay, and then Linda ends up marrying Bruce. Okay, that is definitely off topic. That's for another day, Nadia. You make me laugh, Nadia. P was no good for Elvis. She is evil, which Teresa, she ruined Lisa's life, and bad Elvis got to stick with her, the one that ran after Elvis. Thanks, Teresa. Cheryl, Jane, I agree with you too. In my opinion, I think that though he was a bad boy and he wasn't anything what she thought he would be. Yes, that's true, Cheryl. Annie, her new book coming out next year is about her life after Elvis too. And are we talking about Priscilla's book? Because I've heard nothing about this book other than just comments, people telling me she's bringing out a book. I've never read it anywhere. Elvis didn't want to marry her. She had a child with Elvis. She did not treat Lisa good. I think that once they split up and had a divorce, putting Lisa into Scientology was cruel. Should never have happened. I've got massive views on the Scientology thing, but that's for another video. I really think, I don't really have that. All right, I've only got about 10 minutes long. So, Cheryl, I really think things hit her after the baby. First, she was stuck at home while he was filming, and now she realizes I'm going to be stuck at home with a baby for the next 18 months. That's a great point, Cheryl. That's a great point. And I would like to do a live stream, Cheryl, just on that little gap. So she has the baby, she's caught being unfaithful, and then the day that she leaves him, a little 18-month, 2-year period. I think that deserves a live stream in itself. Her point of view, how she saw life, what Elvis was doing, filming the film Love a Little, Live a Little, doing the 68 comeback special. That little short period where it seems like Elvis has moved on, she has been caught. Elvis feels betrayed. She is the woman that is in trouble. Yeah. So that little gap, because I think that little gap that you just mentioned, Cheryl, festered and festered and festered and built up, because he was obviously seeing other women, and built up to a point where she said, I'm out of here. I'm going to find a way out. I am going to find a way out. And the way out was Mike Stone. So great point, Cheryl. A great thing to analyze. His career and lifestyle simply wasn't conducted to. I agree. later in life. In 1954, up to that point, Elvis would have been a great husband. I don't think they did love each other enough. It seems that way, Cheryl. It does seem, I mean, not Cheryl, Annie. Yes, I was watching some old home movies this weekend. There was love there, but they really need to work at it. And after the marriage, no way should all this guy will still be around. And I agree, Cheryl. There's some beautiful footage, isn't there? There's beautiful footage of them looking really happy. I think this is why we're also gutted the way things turned out. Like that, you see the happy years, you see the happy times. I'm just seeing if I can get it to come up. You see the happy times, but then it just all goes so badly wrong, doesn't it? Let's just have a look. Let's see if I can get a quick one come up. And they look so happy together. When you see these little clips, you just... Let's just see if any are going to come. Here we go. Right, see, look. Oops. You see, they just look so happy together. Don't they, guys? Sorry, it's a bit wobbly. We see the happy times. And the funny thing is, this is probably 68, isn't it? It's like around 68, 69, those sort of years. And Elvis just looks really like he's loving life. But behind the scenes is a completely different story, isn't it? You know, they have the trips together. They actually look good together, didn't they? They're both beautiful. It's just so sad. You know, I could show you loads of clips, couldn't I? I could show you loads of clips showing them happy together. It brings a tear to my eye, guys. It does. So Elvis tried to be a good husband, but he knew he could never be that person. I think that is how it's definitely after the unfaithfulness with Steve Peck, Annie, 100%. So the guys caused a lot of problems between them. They never wanted their fun taken up. Yeah, they didn't want their fun to stop. And they were very selfish. The Memphis Mafia, I agree. Anyone that came onto the scene that affected the lifestyle they were having and the great time they were having, because they were all being unfaithful, weren't they? Was a threat. And not just Priscilla, any other women that came along. So I'm pretty sure a lot of them didn't like Ginger Alden. So they definitely did. And Lisa Marie, if you see her interviews, she doesn't really like the Memphis Mafia. She knew they were up to no good with women and drugs. Yeah. And they were using Elvis. So that's a whole video in itself, isn't it, guys? The Memphis Mafia. My God, we're going to do a lot of live streams about the Memphis Mafia. And I haven't got there yet. I haven't started researching the Memphis Mafia yet because I keep getting pulled back to the Priscilla situation. And obviously today, Mike Stone. There's so much to go through with Priscilla. So I'll just quickly see if I can play these last couple of clips. Then I'm going to go, guys. The time just goes so quick. It just flies by, doesn't it? So there's 18 of you watching. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. If you like what you see, please join. Please join. Be a member. It's only $1 a month. It's nothing. Right. But hitting the notification bell and subscribing, you will get reminded of the live stream so we can come together and watch these together. Right. Let's just turn this up.
So we parted ways. We just got to a point, they're not going to have a trial period apart, that she wanted a complete severance of the relationship, completely, to a divorce. He was furious. She was very unhappy. She was desperate to get out of that situation. Just look at the movie she made about her life. You talk about, and that's what she puts on the screen. So can you imagine? Like a grain of sand. That is the truth. But in that particular instance, she may have seen something in me that she thought she could use and needed to be leverage and a crowbar to get out of her present relationship. Now, I've been accused of this right away. My ex-wife said, you know, she's using you to get.
Oh, actually, that's a bit. See where he says his ex-wife says she was using him.
Like a grain of sand. That is the truth. But in that particular instance, she may have seen something in me that she thought she could use and needed to be leverage and a crowbar to get out of her present relationship. Now, I've been accused of this right away. My ex-wife said, you know, she's using you to get away from Elvis. And of course, my ego said, of course not. I'm handsome, rich, and famous. That's not the reason. So,
You see, even the ex-wife warned him that he was being used, that he was leverage for Priscilla to get away from Elvis. I get your comments about the Memphis Mafia, Cheryl. You're spot on. It is, Cheryl. It is adorable. This is what I'm saying. You know, where the belly rubbing is happening. It's like they did have some good times. They did have some good times. So why the unfaithfulness?
it isn't out there for someone that is honestly curious, that they can research and find out the truth. She was not happy in Graceland. Why? When you're kept, listen, there's a situation that happened 2 years ago.
I don't want to hear that. It's boring.
And then eventually got it when the word, you know, we were, imagine this, Keith, we were physically dating for over a year that nobody knew about it. Only my students. Now, if you talk about...
See that, guys? A year that nobody knew about, including Elvis, of course. It drives you mad, doesn't it? It drives you crazy. So look, Annie says that footage I showed in Hawaii is 12 weeks after Lisa Marie was born, which is basically only, isn't it? It's 4 weeks after the unfaithfulness. It doesn't, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it. How a month earlier she was having an affair with Steve Peck, the dance instructor, and then a month later they're on holiday cuddling. It just, I don't know what to say. Was it for the public? Or maybe they were trying to make a go of it? I don't know. I don't have the answers, guys. You comment. Tell me what you think.
But she persisted in asking me for my phone number so she could call me up about coming to take lesson. And she's saying,
where was Elvis? Excuse me, where was Elvis?
So she, again, it's showing that she chased him. She chased him.
Where's Priscilla? I looked and she's in the back seat and she went like this. Patted the seat like, come sit here. I was like, what? I said, Chuck, it's okay? He said, yeah. So I went in the back with Priscilla, sit down. And when we went to this tiki thing, then everybody was much more relaxed and her tone changed a lot. She was a lot more friendly and really very nice. So
they liked each other. See, so it's just, I've got to go now, guys, but it's just so clear that she pursued him massively. He was a target. He was a target. And I do think he was used. I do. I believe that. And I also think he was dropped like a rock at the end of it. So very interesting, guys. I think that we should do more on Mike Stone. He is interesting to listen to. But why do we like it? Because we get to see the secret side of things that went on behind the scenes. That's why it's so interesting. We get Mike Stone's version of things, and it's a very recent interview. So Nadia, you were saying about doing stuff on with Presley Manias. I'm not really allowed to. I'm not allowed. I've been a bit naughty really on this one because I've took little clips of that. I don't really like to use other people's footage unless I get their permission. So that's Nadia. That's why I won't do that at the moment. But Presley Mania is brilliant. Brilliant. I think there was love there. Just don't think Elvis was the marrying type. He definitely wasn't once he became famous, Colleen. Once he became famous, I agree. Before he became famous, I have different views. I think he would have been a great husband and a great father. I think they always loved each other and had let go of each other. Annie, I think it was on and off. On and off. I think it was, yeah, very complicated situation. But come on, for Elvis to allow her to move to Graceland's, move to America, there must have been love there. There must have been. So Coley says she heard an interview with Lamar and he said the women were married, but the men were. I've seen that interview, Colleen. I know that the Memphis Mafia were very naughty and very unfaithful, and almost all of them divorced their wives. Isn't that true? And they've all admitted to being very unfaithful. You know, so but it's not fair to blame Elvis because they try and blame Elvis, and no, they are responsible for their own actions. So, right, I'm going to go, guys. So we've had a brilliant chat. I can't believe we've been on here for an hour. It's just like mind-boggling how we can do an hour. So if any of you are waking up now to watch this, good morning to you. Have a great day, because I know obviously a lot of you are in different time zones. But some of you people that join me in most of my live streams, thank you so much, guys. Like, we are family, aren't we? Yeah. So we are here. I class you guys as my friends now, because we've got to know each other, haven't we? So we actually know each other's personalities, which is crazy because I didn't know any of you a month ago. So I really appreciate it. Please become members. Click on that thing. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. Please keep those comments coming in. That's how you teach me. I'm learning from your comments. Your comments. It's because of your comments that I did this live today. Someone sent me the link. It could have been Colleen or Guyana. Sent me the link to the Mike Stone interview, and that's why we're here now. So your comments are leading the way on this channel. We're riding on the wave of your comments on this channel. So remember, I have changed the name slightly. We're now called Defending Elvis Presley, Search for the Truth. That is the name of this channel. Defending Elvis Presley, Fans Search for the Truth. That is the name. So I'm out of here, guys. I have to go. So everyone on here, there's lots of names. All of you, I really appreciate all your comments. You can carry on messaging me and I'll reply to your comments. I'm off for a few hours. I'll try and come back later and see if I can do another one, but the kids tend to spoil things. Great live stream, guys. Loved it. Loved it. Thank you very much.